How you doing, Mr. DJ? Back as we go back to the 60s, and we're going to bleed in a little bit to the sock hop years on this one as we go to the tail end of 1963. Of course, we get into late October 1963. We're just weeks away from the British invasion, so we're close enough to the 60s, as we know the 60s anyway. 1963, Billboard's Hot Dick Dale. Man, this song rocks, man. This should have been a bigger hit. Dick Dale and his Dale tones on Billboard's Hot 100. Let's bring it up right now. Billboard's Hot 100 of oh God, I love it. This great surf guitar. One of the founding fathers of surf. Uh, or some consider him the founding father, period, of surf guitar, Dick Dale. Billboard's Hot 100 of October 26, 1963. Let's get into the top 5 records real quick of that week to put a little perspective on this Lost 45. We got Blue Velvet by Bobby Fenton at number 5, Busted by Ray Charles at number 4, Ray Charles in his prime in the early 60s, Deep Purple by Nina Tempo and April Stevens at number 3. Up from number 9. Actually, I think that eventually went to number 1. Be My Baby by the Ronettes at number 2. And Sugar Shack by Jimmy Gilmore and the Fireballs at number 1. And let's go all the way down to the song. I believe it's making its debut. Didn't go very high, though. Oh, my goodness. Well, I'll get to the chart position in just a minute. Made its debut at number 98. Dick Dale and his Dale tones with the Scavenger, man. Got that mean guitar, got that mean engines going. We're right. We're in the surfboards. We're in the jalopies, the stripped down cars, and just racing around the boulevards in Los Angeles, and hanging out at the sock hops, whipping up some good old hot fudge sundaes and all that. Well, anyway, Dick Dale and his Dale tones. Dick Dale, he stitched together Middle Eastern music scales with sheer reverberation and distortion. He was ahead of his time. But get this, the first instrument they learned how to play was the ukulele. Ukulele. He was a big admirer of Hank Williams. He wanted to be a cowboy singer, singing in the honky tonks. Learned how to play the ukulele, and I think he was about 6 years old. And the first song that he played on the ukulele was the Tennessee Waltz. Then he moved on to the guitar. Actually, I take that back. He wasn't 6 years old. He bought the ukulele for $6. This was in the late 40s, early 50s. He was originally from near Boston, but his dad got a job in aerospace industry, which was blooming in Southern California. So they moved from the Northeast all the way to the West Coast. First record, considered the first surf record per se, guitar record, Let's Go Trippin' by Dick Dale in 1961. First surf rock song, and Surf Beat came after that. And his song rather, featured in the movie, one of those beach movies by Frankie Avalon and Annette Funicello. And he worked with Fender. He worked with Fender to create these amplifiers that would push the limits of distortions and amplification. As a matter of fact, he helped develop the first 100-watt guitar amplifier, Dick Dale. You don't hear much about Dick Dale except for the music aficionados who really know a lot about Dick Dale and get really, really into Dick Dale. And the Beach Boys and Jan and Dean, the commercialization of surf music and Dick Dale, probably into the roots of it. This record, let's go to the album. This was Dick Dale's 3rd or 4th album. Let me bring that up for you real quick. And it was called Checkered Flag. Let me bring that up for you because a couple of things. Man, I tell you what, Big Black Cat, that song, Big Black Cat, off of Checkered, Big Black Cat off a Checkered record. Guess who wrote that? Gary Usher and Roger Christian. Now, these guys were big in the surf music back in the early 60s. Gary Usher, along with Brian Wilson, teamed up with Brian Wilson and wrote Don't Worry Baby. Little Deuce Coupe. Roger Christian. DJ. Was it Pasadena they was DJ, or Los Angeles? Roger Christian had a lot to do with those early days of the surf music. With Jan Berry of Jan and Dean, they wrote Ride the Wild Surf, Little Old Lady from Pasadena, Roger Christian. So they're on this thing. Also, 426 Superstar. Man, we got some great songs on here. Also written by Gary Usher and Roger Christian. Surf Buggies on this album. And Mag Wells, also co-written by Gary Usher on this album. Checkered Flag by Dick Dale. Dick Dale, he was a big health fanatic. I don't, and when I use fanatic, I don't mean that negatively. Please don't take it as that, because I can't think of another word right now. I'm on the air. The camera's on. He gave up red meat. He stopped eating red meat in the early 70s. Studied martial art for about 30 years. He did have cancer, rectal cancer. He underwent radiation and chemotherapy, but it's my understanding that he's still out there performing. Very energetic. Let's go to this song, though. Gosh, dog it, I tell you, well, here it is. The Scavenger by Dick Dale and the Dale Tones that debuted at number 98 on Billboard's Hot 100. I forgot the date. I believe it's October 26, 1963. And this, by the way, just less than a month before Kennedy's assassination. And debuted at number 98. And it peaked at 98. It was on Billboard's Hot 100 for just one measly week. But I tell you, it's a rock and roll classic. Dick Dale and his Dale Tones with the Scavenger.